Hello, welcome to Swiss Watch King. Welcome to Hong Kong. Today with a very special collector interview. Somebody who I met many years ago. I think in 2017 or 18. I'm not sure anymore. Shoyo Kawamura. Nice to see you, man.
Mate,
How are you doing,
it's
man?
always good to see you. I'm good.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm awesome, man. I'm enjoying Hong Kong. I'm enjoying seeing very exceptional watches and also some uniques here as well. And the food is always delicious, you know.
Yeah, it's super hot though.
It
I'm not
is
gonna lie.
very hot and humid, huh?
Yeah.
Hot and humid. So how you been, man? We met like a long time ago in Singapore.
Yeah,
When
I
you
think.
just started, I think, in the dabbling in the watch space a bit more.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I met you in Singapore, I was still studying actually, and I just started to get into sort of the world of watches. Yeah, and I learned basically a lot throughout my time in Singapore. And then as soon as I moved back to Hong Kong, from after graduating university, I immediately started in the watch industry and decided to do this as a career.
I loved your journey because I followed it like from Philips in the auction world, and then you started Kinsman, and then Biver Lounge. And it's cool because we have all of these like different chapters of your life at the table, from the vintage Pateks here available as well, from your personal stuff with cool stories, and the nice Biver watch there as well.
Yeah.
So let's maybe start with at the beginning with your collection here. Which watch you wanna show
Well,
us
I
first?
mean, I think if we want to start really at the beginning, then it's basically the watch that I'm wearing on my wrist today.
Yeah.
So this is really just a simple Rolex Daytona 116520. But this is a special watch to me because it's really the watch that sort of kick-started, my journey. So this was basically a gift from my father when I turned 18. And it's a very sentimental watch to me because it was actually the watch that I saw him wear growing up. And I never knew that day was going to come when I turned 18. And then as I spent time with watches, I then realized that this is actually the very first sort of 116520 that was that started basically in 2000. That replaced the Zenith movements. So it has a P serial, which is really the first sort of batch. So yeah, this is really a box of candies. You have really all sorts of different kinds of watches here. And I'd like to start maybe with the Patek Philippe 130 in steel. That's the one, yeah.
There you go. I know my Patek references, guys. For people who watch your channel for a long time,
Yeah.
every time I interview like a collector who has vintage watches, I'm the reference guy,
Nice.
No, yeah, this is reference number
130.
Here we go.
So this is basically the first serially produced chronograph by Patek Philippe after basically the Stern family took over the brand in 1932. So this is a very early example from 1937. It's in stainless steel. The condition is honestly immaculate. It has here basically a Portuguese import hallmark.
Wow.
And
front, huh?
it's fitted on basically a period correct Gayfrère stainless steel bracelet. This was actually my very first vintage purchase.
Nice.
And it really happened coincidentally. Being a fan of chronographs, I decided, okay, I would love to, if I had the opportunity to own one of the very first chronographs produced by Patek. And so I went on a hunt. And so when I was, researching about the watch, I actually emailed a specialist at the time at an auction house saying that I'm looking for one. And I think it was 9 or 8 months later that I received an email from the specialist, and he said, basically, we have one coming up in our auction, and it's from the family of the original owner, and I think this is the one that you should try for. So without looking at the watch, because the auction was not in Singapore or Hong Kong, it was actually in Geneva, I decided to try my luck for it, and I got it.
Beautiful.
And when it arrived, then it was really the moment that I sort of realized how good it was in terms of condition and just the first time, putting it on the wrist and understanding the size of the case, and noticing really the small details of the watch. And, this is really a watch that I still enjoy wearing from time to time. I've got a small wrist, so I tend to, prefer sort of smaller chronographs, but as you can see in this box, it sort of contradicts my theory.
Exactly.
This is basically what my true sort of love is. And here we actually have the original certificate.
Awesome.
From 1941. And we also have the original box and the copies of the original receipt and service papers and all that. So,
beautiful. So
it's a very complete set.
So this is a watch which might not even leave the collection.
This is definitely something I'm keeping. So this is the RM6701 in titanium, and this was also a watch that I bought whilst I was living in Singapore, actually shortly after I met you. And this was really sort of the time where I started to admire Richard Mille as a brand. Before I was more of a purist and I always sort of stuck to Pateks. But I think once you pick one up and you put on your wrist and you understand sort of the ergonomics and why they did things the way they did. And the 6701 for me is really the quintessential everyday timepiece. It's a watch that once you put on your wrist, you don't even remember you have it on. So this was my very first Richard Mille.
Then the contrast maybe with the titanium is the...
Yes, so this is the 6702. So it's the NTPT carbon version of that, basically, with the absence of a date. So this is actually a model that you see a lot of professional athletes wear today. So, most of the F1 drivers who are sponsored by Richard Mille, they wear this quite a lot. And then you have tennis players who wear this. And if you think this one is light, this is even lighter.
This is nuts. Even with the cushion, it's super light.
So they made a few different colorways with the 6702. And for this one, it was actually made in collaboration for Alexander Zverev, the tennis player.
What's the signature here?
So,
is that his signature?
No, this is not his signature, but it's another very cool signature. I had this watch for the past 3 or 4 years, but then it was only last year when I went to the Singapore Grand Prix together with Richard Mille. We had an opportunity to do a meet and greet with some of the F1 drivers at the newly opened Richard Mille boutique in Singapore. And so, I'm a Ferrari fan, and so I decided to wear, this piece because it has the Ferrari colors. And then standing in front of me was Charles Leclerc, and not knowing that there was sort of like a photo op, and I see people queuing up to get a photo with him, and they all had like Ferrari caps and like a Ferrari shirt, and I had nothing. So I looked at, like, what can I get signed, right? And I looked at my watch, and I was like, maybe this can do. So
it's a good.
I went up to him and I was like, can you please sign my watch? And he was like, I've never done it before, but where would you like the signature to be? And thankfully, I had it fitted on a leather strap instead of the traditional rubber or the sort of the textile strap. So I was quite lucky in that sense. And so it's a Charles Leclerc signature.
No, it looks very cool. Looks very cool. And I've seen you race Ferraris, no?
Sometimes. A little bit.
But some of the bigger ones, the FXX, no?
No, it was the Challenge cars.
The Challenge, that's what I meant,
But I like driving. And it was actually during COVID that I was stuck in Hong Kong for a while, so I decided, since I can't really go anywhere, I'd get myself a simulator.
Yeah, nice.
And I would just, spend a lot of time on it. And, once COVID ended, then I was actually able to go to the actual tracks and actually,
how it really feels, huh?
sort of, bring sort of what I learned from the simulator, on the track.
It's very cool. And Ferraris
yeah.
have the best sound, so.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if you have like a GTC for loose or FF. Not sure which one it is.
It's the FF.
Nice, perfect. Awesome. So
yeah.
the topic of RM, we can go to the.
Exactly. So
like you said, the Beast.
Yeah.
That's a watch which would fit me, yeah.
Exactly. This is your watch. I think it doesn't really fit me too well, unfortunately. This actually belonged to my dad, and so he is also a very simple guy, and he wears his Pateks and Rolexes. And when I first sort of introduced him to the brand, he was not such a big fan, because of the sort of like the bold designs and the chunky case. But slowly, me and my brother, we started talking to him, and my mom actually loves the brand quite a lot, and so we got him to get his first one. He had it on his wrist for about 2 days, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a bit too heavy and chunky for me." So
he's like, "Nah,
why don't you wear it?" And I have been wearing it quite often ever since. It's still, not like a daily watch that I would wear because of the size and of the weight. But for me, being a lover of chronographs, this is basically, I think, still one of the most complicated movements that RM has ever made in-house.
Oh, yeah.
Split-second chrono, and
I think so.
with a rapid winding system, which I think is very cool.
Yeah.
It's for collectors who like the cars. I think you would really sort of admire the details in some of the Richard Mille watches.
Yeah, just the profile is just beautiful.
Profile's beautiful, and I like the different sort of colors that you see on the dial and also on the pushers and on the crown. It just creates just like this little subtle contrast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it's a cool watch.
So that's the next time you see a F1 driver. That's the one that's getting signed.
Hopefully.
Lewis Hamilton now.
Exactly.
See,
yeah,
boom.
I'm dying to see if I can try and meet him.
So anytime you go to F1, just have some straps ready.
Exactly. Pull them out.
Nice.
So yeah. And then if you want, maybe we can move on to this piece. Yeah. This is quite a peculiar piece.
It is. We spoke about this before.
I know.
Because when we met, we spoke about this.
Exactly. So again, I acquired this basically in 2018, I think. And this is, it's not a very expensive watch, and it's not a watch that you see quite commonly as well.
Or you ever will.
So this is the Zenith Defy Lab prototype. So 100th of a second chronometer. And so you have this like oscillating component which has this constant sort of heartbeat.
Yeah, anxious beating.
But this is actually a watch that I bought because at the time Jean-Claude Biver, he was still the CEO of Zenith, and he flew down to Singapore to host a dinner with a few collectors. And at the dinner, he basically introduced this prototype. There were 10 of them made, each with sort of different colored indexes, hands, and also the sort of like the Zenith star skeletonized dial. And basically, for the buyer of each watch, Jean-Claude Biver was gonna fly them out to Switzerland, do a factory tour, and then have a sit-down dinner with the man himself. So being, a huge Jean-Claude Biver fanboy growing up, I decided to, take the opportunity to acquire the watch and hopefully grab a nice meal with him. So I planned the trip quite carefully, and I planned it around sort of Basel World time. And so that I can go to the fair and see the manufacturer and then have the dinner with him, and sort of it's like a well-rounded trip. And unfortunately, at the time, I believe, he was not feeling too well. So unfortunately, he couldn't make it to dinner. But I received the watch, and I had dinner with, at the time, Julien Tonnerre, and together with two other collectors, another one from Singapore and one from the UK, George Bamford, actually. So regardless of that, we still had a fantastic dinner and a fantastic time. And for me, this is a cool watch, and
it's gorgeous, man. It's very sick.
It's my first attempt trying to basically meet the legend himself, but failed.
But you met him quite a few times ever since.
I met him quite a few times ever since, but it still took a while.
Yeah.
It took a few attempts, but yeah.
What's the material of the case again?
So this is actually a concrete composite, which is also very cool. So it's robust. It's quite light in weight. It has this unique sort of like granular appearance. And you just don't really see it often in watchmaking. So.
And then to special Pateks.
And then to special Pateks. So if you want to pick that one up. So
reference number.
This is the 5227 in white gold with a black dial.
Took the words out of my mouth.
So this is a very simple and timeless Calatrava. When it first came out, and it had the sort of like the ivory white dial, that was actually the watch that really captivated me. It's such a iconic, Calatrava with very simple proportions, and I love the fact that it had the open case back, the hinged open case back. And this was something I picked up from my retailer in Sydney, and I had my surname engraved on the back, and this is basically one of the watches that I really plan to, pass down the family line, and so you can have, their names engraved on it as well. So
nice.
This is just
it's cool because you can open up the case back.
Exactly, and it's one of those watches where you really don't notice it's a Patek. It's a very understated, humble piece, and you can nenever really go wrong with a black dial. I like black dials, but
the case is beautiful.
Case is beautiful. You have just small little details. You have like sort of concaved facets on the side of the lugs.
Gorgeous,
Just small little details that really completes the watch and whole.
Yeah, it's like one of those watches you don't carry whatever somebody says about it,
Yeah.
Basically.
Exactly.
You buy this for you.
Yep. And then moving on to the next, this is the 5271
And that's
P.
Complete contrast. Your humble Patek. This is
exactly.
The other spectrum.
Yeah. So this
Subtle flex.
This is quite a recent purchase actually. This was basically my 30th birthday present to myself. So I turned 30 last year, and one of my dreams, basically growing up and once I started to get to study and know about the Patek Philippe brand, one of my dreams was to actually visit the manufacturer. And so the dream came true at the end of 2023. Our Australian retailer kindly invited me and my younger brother, together with a few friends, to do the manufacturer tour. And so at the end of the tour, they bring you to this like amazing room. I'm not sure you've been, but it's just this giant sort of meeting conference room, and everyone had their own seat, and they had the vault. And they opened up the vault, and basically was the time where you sort of you were able to browse through their current collection.
Wow.
And they give you basically a piece of paper and a pen, and they make you write down, sort of your wish list.
Like for Santa.
Sort of. Yeah. So, I filled out the sheet of paper, and, I'll be honest, I had something else on top of this one, but this was on it. So when I visited my Australian retailer last year, after watching one of my best friends' boxing fights. They knew that my birthday was coming soon, and unfortunately they couldn't give me the piece that I originally requested for, but out of the back pocket they pulled this piece out and they said, "Would you like to have this?" And I said yes instantly.
That's beautiful.
And I always have loved perpetual calendar chronographs, and I like the sapphire because it's a bit more subtle than the ruby.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I'm, quite often in blue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just one of those watches where I just picked up.
It's my favorite color as well.
Yeah.
There's the ruby one, also emerald, no?
Emerald for the previous version, because here with the upgraded version you have the degradé sort of dial in the respective sort of colors of the gemstones, and they haven't made an emerald one yet, but it will be cool if they did.
And the buckle is also
the buckle also, yeah.
Beautiful work, man. This is insane. Do you wear this or not?
I do wear this, yeah. I do wear this.
Good.
Not a daily piece, but I do
not
wear
a daily
it
beater, huh?
often. Yeah.
This is more the gym segment here.
Exactly. And then
what about this Patek here?
Yeah.
So this is guy we left out almost.
Exactly. So this is actually one of my most recent purchases. It was purchased at auction, but this is the reference 96 in yellow gold. So it's the first serially produced Patek Philippe model. So it's the first sort of Calatrava, and so you have the first serially produced chronograph, and then you have the first serially produced wristwatch by Patek Philippe after the acquisition by the Stern family.
Yeah, the beautiful.
But I've always wanted a very nice 96, and it's just it happens that this example came up at auction, and I feel like the case is very solid, and as you can see, the bezel is also very clean. The crown is original.
It looks in great condition.
And most importantly, the dial is honestly fantastic. It's hard to come across one with a black dial, and let alone one that's actually confirmed by the extract from the archives. And so you have the long signature, so Patek Philippe in C. So really one of the earliest sort of signatures that you have on Patek Philippe wristwatches, and the condition is untouched and
looks
unrestored.
Great,
but
and the
very well
preserved
as
well.
Bracelet's nice. It's
cool.
I think it was after. It wasn't born with the watch, because you have the guys, the original owners' initial, I would assume. Yeah. But I am looking for a period correct yellow gold Gay Frere bracelet. So if anyone watching this has access to one or is looking to sell one, do hit me up.
Kinsman.com for your next watch. Details in the description below.
So yeah, I mean, beautiful. That is the box that sort of has a little bit of a story on my watch collecting journey. Gorgeous. And whatnot.
And then this is the Kinsman side of the.
So this is, I would say, these are watches that I sort of acquired after I rejoined the company together with my younger brother. For me, Kinsman is passion, because I got into watches together with my younger brother at a young age, and we are only 1 year apart. We went to the same schools, did the same sports, had the same group of friends, had the same interest, and we were both into watches. And so after graduating, he actually wasn't so sure if he was gonna, come join me in the watch industry or not. I sort of knew exactly what I wanted to do growing up, and I've always wanted to, be with watches. But he had other plans. But I think after a few moments of thinking, he decided, I do want to do something every day that I enjoy. So I was really happy, and so we decided to embark on this journey together. And yeah, so these are some of the watches that we've sort of acquired since we started the company. But yeah, it started from passion, and we both are a huge fan of Patek Philippe. And so yeah, if you can see, you have again, you know, perpetual calendar chronographs, pure perpetual calendars, rare handicrafts, and also some more timeless, sort of like Calatrava time-only pieces as well.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
This one like because I'm a big fan of cloisonné.
Yeah.
And this is just a gorgeous
Yeah,
watch.
for me, I think so. This was actually made for the 175th anniversary of Patek, and again, it's got this feature that I like. It's got the hinged open case back, blank canvas,
which you can engrave.
Which you can engrave again. And also, this is very special because, you know, if you notice at 12 o'clock, the Patek Philippe signature is actually a very peculiar font that you don't really see much in
it's beautiful
in Patek watches. And also, it has the sailing scene of Geneva Lake.
Yeah.
And well, the dial is completed none other by the revered Anita Porcher.
Yeah, nice.
So,
I love watching your Instagram account because there's always watches which are very different from each other, but also the way you market it, it's just cool. I think you're one of the only, let's say, dealers or people who source watches like this who put so much effort into videos, and they're all very different. Because I saw also one photo shoot with our common friend Gabe Labeg, with on his wrist, you know, with the RM, I think, right? And it's just nice, and it shows because I see you also collect a lot of art.
Yeah.
And you combine these two worlds, right? Like art, watches, modern touch, youthful feeling as well.
Yeah.
Not like stuffy dealer, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's, you know, coming to work every day is fun, and it has to be fun, right? And here I'm very fortunate to have a very good team of, you know, young guys and girls who are all, you know, we're all sort of similar age, and it's a very horizontal hierarchy. We all have fun. We all have a significant input into what we create. And honestly, it's, you know, I've had a lot of thought about it before, you know, sort of identifying or trying to, you know, come up with a style of how we want to create our content and display the watches and our collectibles to our audience. And we decided that because we are so diverse in, you know, the type of timepieces that we deal with, and also the selection of collectibles that we have, there's no one style that can sort of capture, you know, the essence of everything, right? And so we decided, you know, I think it's let's mix it up. Let's have some fun with what we do, and you know, just try and improve, you know, every content that we do.
For sure.
And just come up with things that, you know, we might not sort of see quite often.
So from this tray,
okay, so
what's your favorite one?
Well,
you have to pick one. The house is burning. You see the tray. You're like, fine, or just one piece.
Okay, I mean, I have to go with this.
Yeah.
I mean,
the subtlest of them all.
Well, I mean, for me, because I've been studying the brand for quite a long time, and you know, through my days at the auction house and prior to that, reading books and stuff, and you know, I think I fell in love with, you know, vintage perpetual calendar chronographs. So, you know, we have really one of, I would say, a very nice example.
The end all be all.
Yeah. So this is a 2499 fourth series, double sign, Gublin, and it's complete, full set, pretty much a new old stock condition. And so this was basically the second reference that Patek Philippe introduced for their perpetual calendar chronograph lineup right after the very first, which was the 1518. And that was sort of like the pioneer of it all. But there's, aesthetically speaking, I think between the 1518 and 2499, the 1518 is sort of like true vintage. It has, a very similar case. If you compare it to the 130, it's a very sort of like old school Calatrava style case with rectangular pushes, and then the 2499 is sort of like the bridge between modern and vintage. You have a much fancier case, with the classic sort of concave bezel, fluted lugs, round pushers, and then also a less clustered dial for the later series. Yeah, and so for me, I think the fourth series is sort of like the 2499 that you can actually wear. I've worn it, but it's not,
Yeah, of course.
what should I put on often? But if I was to put on any sort of vintage watch out of sort of like the entire tray, it would be the 2499 4 series, simply because of the fact that it's the only one with the sapphire crystal. So why don't we move on to the next? So this one?
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah.
I don't know the reference, but I love them.
Well, this is the 3940.
I know there's a Dory version, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a Dory dial. This also comes with a Dory dial too. But this is the 3940 in platinum, 4th series, but double signed by Tiffany and Co. So very rare watch.
With the closed case back.
With a closed case back.
Oh, okay.
But I believe this is the only one in platinum double signed by Tiffany in the market.
Wow. Do
but-
they come up on auction or not really?
Well, this was purchased in auction a while ago,
Okay.
but this was the only one that came up to auction.
Gotcha.
But the 3940 is for me also a very important reference. It was a reference that my father loved. So he had a pink gold one that he wore. And it's also the daily watch worn by Philippe Stern.
Okay.
So Thierry Stern's father.
Yeah.
He was the one who sort of designed it, and it's one of the very first pieces with the caliber 240Q with a micro rotor. So yeah, this is for me a very understated piece. It's sort of one of them where
Just perfect.
if you know, you know, and the signature's so small that it becomes sort of pretty much irrelevant to the naked eye. And it's a timeless sort of watch.
And the sizing is great. I've
Sizing's great.
photographed many of them, but mostly in yellow gold.
Yeah, great legibility. Just the perpetual calendar layout is superbly clear.
So the top of the dial isn't too busy.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's perfectly symmetrical. The two sort of counters are perfectly aligned with the crown. The size again is fantastic, and for a perpetual calendar, it's
Quite
honestly
thin, yeah.
quite thin. So yeah, it's
With
one
the
of those
micro
pieces.
rotor.
Exactly.
Also remarkable.
Yeah.
Awesome, beautiful.
Yeah.
And these are all nice examples here. So these are obviously not for sale, more or less, or not at all. And these are available. So if somebody has a question about them,
Well,
they can basically hit you up. Maybe
yeah,
this is
I
more of
mean-
a sour topic here.
Yeah, these are
The
some
reference.
$24.99.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, these are watches that you can that we're happy to show some of our clients if they come into the office. But yeah, it's a nice little assortment.
Yeah.
And,
But you also source watches, because I've seen there's like a hit list out there
yeah, we do.
with like watches you wanna,
Yeah, we do.
buy.
We do.
And a smiley was on there, which is sick.
So yeah, honestly, we do source quite a lot of different watches, and I think we're based out in an office. We're not a retail store, so we don't really open the doors to everyone. But we always have requests from collectors looking for something maybe slightly more unique.
Yeah.
And more often than not, we're able to find them.
It's cool that you can even offer this. You go from this Patek to a Smiley to a maybe a Zenith like this if somebody wants to buy one as well down the line. But then also your latest endeavor, which is Biver.
Yeah.
So you open up a Biver Lounge in Hong Kong, which is really cool.
Yes. So honestly, working with the brand is, for me, a dream come true.
Yeah, you go all the way back to this. Huh?
This was basically the start, and now we're there. But yeah, honestly, it has been a journey. But I'm super glad that we're here now and that we get to work very closely with the family. And it has been great so far. And feel free, come and kick it back at the lounge
for sure
sometime, and we'll have some more pieces to show you.
So here we have the.
So this is the pink gold automatique, which is the brand's latest model. And for me, I think they've done a superb job. The first model that they launched in 2023 when the brand first started was the Carillon Tourbillon repeater. So they decided to go completely the opposite way and create something that is genuinely complicated. But they had a vision of actually creating a complicated timepiece, a repeater timepiece that you can actually wear on a daily basis.
Because you do own a special dial one.
Yeah,
as well,
I do.
What's the dial as well?
So the dial is composed of two different kinds of jade in marquetry setting. Yeah. So we have basically Burmese jade and then Guatemalan jade for the outer ring, creating this sort of like this two-tone sort of style dial, but with jade.
It's gorgeous.
Fantastic piece. But for me, I think this is really the piece that speaks, to, let's say, collectors who are into vintage and who's looking for something, sort of neo-vintage, like vintage inspired with sort of modern practicality and modern finishing.
And beautiful finishing.
And beautiful finishing. The movements are insane for the automatiques, and I think they've done a fantastic job. It's a movement basically co-designed with Dubois de Praz. And if you look at basically the backside of the watch, all the bridges are finished with Claude de Paris pattern, which is quite rare.
For sure.
That, to see it on a movement, usually you see it on the bezel but to have it on the movement, on the base plate, it's pretty insane.
It is.
Yeah. And it's a micro rotor, so
the quality is great. The price, considering what's out there today, is actually okay.
Well, the pink gold without the bracelet, honestly, for me, fantastic. Yeah. But without the bracelet, it retails at 75,000 Swiss francs. And then with the bracelet together, it's an additional 24,000 Swiss francs. Yeah. But for me, I think the bracelet is
not bad,
the key,
because it's a heavy, big bracelet.
Yeah, it's solid pink gold 5N, which is the highest of quality. The clasp is actually, the same as this. It's from the same factory.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And the bracelet, the details and the craftsmanship that has gone onto the bracelet is pretty insane. Yeah. Because it's a very heavily faceted sort of bracelet with each individual link polished individually and then assembled on. Whereas, some other bracelets that you see, the bracelet is first assembled and then polished. Yeah. So the man hours behind creating a bracelet as such is pretty nuts.
And there is Cartier bracelets which are much smaller for the same price and thinner.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think this is actually fair.
Yeah.
And again, considering what's out there today, because I know a lot of indie guys who make new watches nowadays, that's like my specialty. This is fine, especially for the size of the brand and the quality and the rose gold.
Yeah.
Is the dial also rose gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
Yeah. The dial's amazing as well. It's two-tone, sort of like, You can see the vintage inspiration behind it, and it's got fantastic sort of vertical brush finishing on the main sort of dial, and then you see the inner ring. It's sort of circular brush finish, hence creating this sort of like two-tone optical illusion.
It's gorgeous.
But yeah, fantastic watch.
Awesome. Sure. I mean, listen, besides watches, I've also admired your art collecting.
Yeah.
Hype beast stuff, but also it goes much deeper. As we see, we have some very cool stuff around us.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering about this fan in the back.
Yeah, so that's
a special story.
that's a cool fan.
I'm a fan of the fan, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So the story is quite an interesting one, and well, it's the first time I'm sharing this actually.
Well,
So for some viewers and some collectors, they might recognize the fan. And so this is actually a fan that used to be owned by the last emperor of China, Puyi. You know, for those that remember, basically there was a very important auction 2 years ago where the last emperor's watch was auctioned off. And it was a Patek Philippe reference 96 with a triple calendar. And so there was only 3 made of that specific watch, according to the Patek Philippe archives. One of them which is currently at the Patek Philippe Museum, another one's in private hands, but both of those pieces were restored.
Okay.
And so the piece that was actually offered at auction
Was
the only
aged
one that that had its original sort of condition. Even the strap was original. It was pretty insane.
Nice.
Commemorative piece, sentimental piece, because I basically stayed at the auction house until I had to stay until I witnessed the auction before I can leave.
Yeah.
So that was my last season at auction. And then after that auction, I left and started my own thing here.
This beautiful.
Yeah.
So you've seen a lot of watches. You've sourced many. You touched them at the auction, also here, and from your clients as well. They probably have amazing collections locally and globally. Is it like one watch that you're searching for, you just can't find it? Or is it hard to say because even stuff here is like really rare?
Look, I think there's definitely that watch that, sort of you're always dreaming about, right? And, sometimes you're not sure when it's gonna appear. And, this watch that would be my dream, I think it's in existence. I don't know when it's going to appear in public, but it has to be the John Lennon 2499 Tiffany signed. I think that watch, for me, if it appears again in public, it would be probably one of the most important watches to ever surface in public, because it also has such a fascinating story behind it as well. And it's one of those watches whereby you know about it, but no one really knows where it is until it sort of reappears again. So yeah.
So when that time happens,
I don't think I'll be able to afford it.
All the support comes in.
But I would just love to see. I would love to see it in person.
Yeah. To see how it looks in the field.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And you also collect art.
Yeah, I collect a little bit of art.
Well, so.
I picked up this hobby together with my brother, more recently, I would say within the last 4 or 5 years. We sort of went on a dive, and...
you went all in, huh?
Well, a little bit, but we've collected a few pieces, but it's one of those things whereby you have to buy a few and try and navigate and try and see really what you like. I've been buying a lot less the past couple of years, but
more selective, huh? Probably.
More selective. I like. My favorite artist is Izumi Kato, the Japanese artist. But yeah, we do like collecting things.
Yeah.
Growing up, you know, we collect Pokemon cards together.
Same.
We collect
Yu-Gi-Oh,
sneakers
Digimon.
together, because you know, similar size feet. So, you know, back then we would always share our football boots, and
Nice.
so yeah, we share everything together, and you know, we share our art collection as well together. We share some of our watch collection together.
That's
and
very cool. I
we
like
see each other every day, you know, but thankfully the working relationship is very healthy.
Yeah.
We both have our own weaknesses and strengths, and so we don't have too much conflict on that
Nice.
area.
Plus,
so,
you can support each other as well. Huh?
yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. And it stays in the family at the end of
Stays
the
in
day.
the family, and yeah, it's amazing because, like you said, yes, there's many watches that we've seen and that we've dealt with, but the beautiful thing about watches is that there's still a lot more that we haven't seen. So there's always something to look forward to every day, and this is what really keeps us going.
True. Sure.
Yeah. Mate,
Thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure.
To listen to all the stories and to see your beautiful office here as
yeah,
well.
thank you.
So guys, check out all the links in the description. I'm gonna put the Kinsman, Biver as well, and Shoyo's personal Instagram account, which is I think closed. So you can try it. But again, thank you for watching. Shoyo, thank you for your time again. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
And comment down below which one is your favorite. There's many to choose from. Let me see which one it will be. Thank you guys.
Cool. Thank
I'll
you
see
guys.
soon.
Cheers.
Thanks man again. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.